We're here with Simon Durling, running in the invitation class. Simon's in his 1966 Brabham, which is a new car to him. Simon, fill us in on some of the history of this car.
Well, it was a Formula 2 car in 1966. It had a V8 Buick put in the winter of 66-67 and was used to come second in the Hillclimb Championship in 1967.
So from a new car, it has a continuous hill climb history.
It has a continuous hill climb history, and it's been beautifully restored, and it's a pleasure to drive.
I can imagine, it's certainly a beautiful looking car.
Oh yes, it's just a nice car to own.
Simon, I see you're running with number 4 on. That represents your Hill Climb Championship position from last year. So you're a guy that's used to running in the modern cars.
Yes, running the Brabham has been a severe shock to my system this year, I can tell you. It's nothing like the Gould with wings and slicks and just modern technology really.
A more relaxing time in the Brabham?
Oh, much more relaxing. Yes, I haven't got to worry about time so much, just come and enjoy the day.
Last year and the year before, you actually won championship runoffs here in the Gould.
I did. I won only my second runoff win was the year before last, and then I won again last year, and I nearly won the second runoff. I just got slightly sideways going into saw bench, and I missed winning by 900ths of a second. But the Gould here was absolutely magic. Just wonderful to drive.
Simon, we'll watch you with interest this afternoon, see how you make progress in the Brabham, and we watch those Goulds as well for that record time.
Well, let's hope they break a very, very quick record.
Let's join our resident OMS camera car again with Ian Price, who's attempting to qualify for his 4th British runoff of the year. Remember, it's just the fastest 12 cars that make the cut for the 2 runoffs, which alone count for championship points. Former rally driver Price's sideways technique is particularly effective at Wiscombe Park. Despite having just 1600 cc's of Hayabusa motorcycle power in the back of his space frame OMS, he qualified the car here last year, and judging by the way he stormed over Bunny's Leap before diving into the woods, he's set to do it again. Now Price's rally experience begins to pay off as he powers the car through the S's before getting hard on the brakes for the first of the 2 hairpins. A typical rally style tail slide through saw bench, and he's already screaming the bike engine car up towards Martini. Another controlled power slide through the final left-hander, and he's over the line. 37.60 is good enough to make the cut once again. Now Will Hall comes to the line for his first qualifying bid. This is the Halesowen youngster's first year in single-seaters after several successful seasons at the wheel of a Vauxhall-powered Westfield. He's adapting well to this 4 chassis, one of the later model cars built by Ian Dayson. With just 1300cc of Suzuki Hayabusa in the back, Hall's at something of a power disadvantage and has yet to qualify for a British runoff. But what the car lacks in power, Will certainly makes up for in enthusiasm. Up into saw bench, he's late on the brakes and keeps the car tight through the hairpin, power sliding out, squeezing every ounce of urge from the tiny motorcycle engine. After another deft flick of opposite lock, the force is over the line. 38.19 just misses the cut, but that first opportunity for championship points can't be far away. Now Paul Hames makes his qualifying bid in the Dallara Vauxhall. In 2008, Hames seems to have taken over the mantle of top 2-litre runner from Tom New, but with the Pilbeam driver breathing down his neck, he can't afford to miss any opportunity of getting a place in a championship runoff. But with limited power at his disposal compared to the big V8s, Paul knows he must push hard all the time. But this time he pushes just a bit too hard. Locking a wheel into saw bench, he skates into the hairpin on full lock and just manages to retrieve the situation. He gets the car underway again, but he's well aware that any chance of making the cut for the opening runoff is out of the window. In the circumstances, a sub-40 run isn't a bad time, but that's no good for the competitive Hames. He'll have to wait until the second runs for another chance to qualify.
We're here with Chris Merrick after round 21 of the Hill Climb Championship. Chris, you've been running this Gould GR55 for 4 seasons now. What positions have you finished in the car over the last few seasons?
Well, I started off in 2005 with the car and finished 8th. The following season I finished 7th. Last season I finished 6th. My objective this season is to finish 5th.
And where are you lying at the moment, Chris? Oh, great. So you're on plan at the moment.
I'm on plan at the moment. Things are going very well this year.
Round 21 just gone by. Where did you finish in that one?
Finished in 6th position there. We're having a good tussle with Roger Moran, who finished 700ths ahead of us, and he's 4th in the championship. So there's about 9 points between us. So we're having a good old tussle this year.
Chris, tell us a little bit about the car, because this one is fairly unique in having the Judd engine as opposed to the Nicholson McLaren.
Yeah, it runs an ex-Formula One from the sort of Lotus early 90s era. Judd EV engine produces around about 630 horsepower, which is pretty adequate really, and it delivers the power beautifully. So it's a good compromise engine for hill climbing.
And from its Formula One days when it ran in 3.5 litre format, this has been taken out to 4 litre, as I understand it.
This is a 4 litre engine now. Believe it or not, it's actually a little bit more powerful and a little bit more torquey now, but ideal for the hills and very tractable. Lovely engine.
Yeah, I think it's a great combination. This chassis and this particular engine seems to work superbly and does deliver its power nicely.
It certainly does. Roy Lane had the car initially. Carl Davison and I shared it for a little while before I owned it, but it's been a great car throughout and continues to be so.
I remember talking to Roy about a year ago about the engine. He said he'd spent sort of 3 days on the dyno specifically mapping it to suit his driving style and the requirements of hills.
I have to give all credit to Roy. It's the nicest Judd engine I've ever driven, and I've driven a few of them, and it's fabulous.
Merrick qualified the Gould Judd in 4th place for the opening runoff. Let's watch his first run with championship points at stake. Lots of power and particularly torque, as Chris says, from this 4 litre Judd EV make this Gould very effective as a hill climb car, and particularly so out of Wiscombe's 3 slow corners. Rocketing over Bunny's Leap and up into the Essex, the carefully mapped V8 smooth power delivery really pays off through the left-right switchback and up into Sawbench. This is a big car to get round the hairpin, but Chris copes superbly and 600 horsepower chimes in with a vengeance on the run up to Castle Straight. Into Martini, and the tight hairpin is dispensed with by a quick flick of the elbows. That 36-second run will be Merrick's best of the day, leaving him 6th in the runoff. With an even better 5th place in the afternoon, he'll end the day still in that firm 5th place on the championship table. We're on board now with Martin Groves. After that double win in Guernsey last weekend, he needs a repeat performance to stay in touch with championship leader Scott Moran. Off the line and into Wiss, it's clear that Groves is on a mission. No one today has got within a second of Adam Fleetwood's 2004 hill record, and with most of the former champions' hill standards already consigned to the history books by Groves and Moran, Martin will be keen to add another to the list. Stabbing the throttle through the S's, Groves is in typically aggressive mood as he hurls the big car through Sawbench and unleashes all the horsepower of his Nicholson McLaren V8 up Castle Straight. Martini is here already, and Wiscombe's sting in the tail is quickly behind us as the clock stop on 35.09. That's a personal best time for Groves and the fastest run of the day so far. But as the Gould rolls into the holding paddock, the question everyone's asking is, can the championship leader respond? So now, rolling down the hill to the Wiscombe start line is the top man in this year's British Hill Climb Series. Way out front with a 41-point lead over closest rival Martin Groves, this has been Scott Moran's best year by far. Groves is fighting back after that poor start to the season and leads the way so far today, but Moran will be determined to keep up his own momentum. In goes the clutch and the Gould leaps over Wiscombe's famous bridge and into Wiss. With 640 horsepower of Nicholson McLaren V8 under his right foot, Moran powers up to Bunny's Leap and the car goes light as he gets on the brakes for the gate. There's still nothing in it between the two top rivals as Scott's delicate throttle control balances the car on a knife edge before braking for Sawbench. That's a clean exit for the hairpin, and now power really tills as Moran charges up Castle Straight into Martini. He needs to beat Groves' time of 35.09 to win this runoff, and he's not done it. The time is just 400ths down and Martin Groves has pulled another one back. Over in the paddock, Groves is talking to Tony Wiltshire.
Thanks, Jerry. Martin, great run for round 21.
Yeah, I was very pleased with that. Yeah, personal best for me. So yeah, that was the result we needed.
So the hill's in good condition to be setting personal bests early in the day?
Yeah, certainly. It's it seems a little bit bumpy in the S's. They've patched a little bit of tarmac, but certainly the best conditions we've had here since I think probably 2004. So yeah, good.
Yeah, certainly one of the best days I can remember here. Do you think those S's are a little bit slower these days than back when the record was set?
Possibly. Again, it was a similar weekend, very warm. Obviously, tyres working very well, and clearly Adam just really had it hooked up that day. So we'll see if we can get a bit nearer to it this afternoon.
I'm sure you'll contemplate that over lunch and see what you can do.
That's right, yeah.
But just back from the Channel Islands, how'd you get on over there?
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy schedule really. We were Jersey week last Thursday, Guernsey on the Saturday. Had some problems in Jersey with the way the car was handling, but managed to rectify that for Saturday in Val d'Itaires in Guernsey. So 2 wins there was catch up again, you know, so that's how it seems to be this year.
So 2 to Scott in Jersey, 2 to you in Guernsey.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
But after that run off this morning, that puts us on 10 wins each, so, you know, let's see what we can do this afternoon.
It's going to be a close run to the finish, isn't it?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Exciting stuff. Well, best of luck, Martin. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Tony. Cheers.
So Martin Groves pegs another one back by just 0.04 of a second to level with Scott Moran on 10 wins apiece. Trevor Willis is a strong third in his nimble-handling OMS Powertech, outgunning even the ultra-powerful traction-controlled Pilbeam Judd of Joss Goodyear. As Roger Moran and Chris Merrick continue their duel, Moran Senior gets the verdict by 700ths, with Basil Pitt a further 300ths adrift in a close midfield battle.
Join us again after the break.